up, Delle Dolls? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope it won't be your last. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and the bell so you don't miss any future uploads from me. And if you are a recurring and returning Delle Doll, you already know I'm glad to see your face. I know today is a different setup, y'all. Like, I have really just been wrestling with myself today on whether or not I wanted to put out the original video I had on my content calendar, and my spirit was just very restless about it. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that lately God has really been talking to me about just the future, relationships, single motherhood, what's next, etc., etc. So it's late at night. I was up. I was, looking at my calendar, planning stuff, helping my mom automate her posts and things like that. And I just couldn't sleep. My spirit, I felt like God was just telling me to just get up and talk about this. So today I want to talk about single motherhood and just give some mommy motivation, some encouragement, particularly my single mothers who are praying for a husband. And I'm even going to extend this and say just a singles period who might be in a single season that seems like it's never ending. So if it seems random, it's because I literally have just been thinking about this for like the last 3 hours. And I'm in my, my robe, my little head wrap, I've been chilling. This is not scripted. This is literally just like a nudging and urging, and I'm not gonna relax until I say this. So, if it seems like I'm rambling, I apologize in advance, but I'm just gonna talk, and for those of you who don't know me, obviously I am a single mother. I'm a single mom to a 3-year-old boy. His dad is not around. If you want to know all of that, I have story times on that, and you can even check out my Instagram for more detail. But, I always wanted to be a wife. I always wanted to be a mother. I don't remember a time in my life where I didn't want both, and being single for a long time, it's a lot, and obviously by now you've picked up on the fact that I am a believer in Christ, surprise, surprise, right? But that makes it even harder sometimes because I feel like on one end, we're always being talked to about marriage and relationships and all this kind of stuff, particularly as women. A lot of us desire marriage. A lot of us feel like we're wives. A lot of us know we're wives, and we're always being talked to about that. But on the other end, it's like you can't talk about that urge to get married, because if you do, then it's like I said this on my Instagram this week, you get one or two responses. Either people dismiss it like, wait on the Lord, you got it, whatever, sis. We all want to get married. And usually that response is from someone who's probably been married for a while or in a long-term relationship, and they just like, whatever, never really had that season of waiting. Or you get the response of people like swooping in intervention style, like, oh no, she says she desires marriage. She says she's thinking of marriage and a husband. We gotta intervene. She's about to jump, that kind of thing. And it's just like, no, like I really just am in a season where it's hitting a little heavier, and it was really weighing on me this week, y'all. It was really weighing on me, and it just ebbs and flows. And I know if you're single, you understand this, but you have seasons sometimes where it's like marriage, like, yeah, I desire it, but I'm in my bag, I'm goal digging right now. In other words, achieving my goals. I'm busy, I'm focused, I'm living my best life with my friends, traveling. Like, it's just in the back of your mind. Like, you want it, but it seems like it's in the back of your mind. You're resting in the Lord. You're joyful. You're, living your best life, like I said. And then other seasons, it hits you like a ton of bricks. And you're just like, am I ever going to get married? Am I ever going to be pursued? And especially, I don't know if this happens to y'all, but it seems like whenever I get in a season where I'm like, I'm really going to focus on me, and a lot of things are happening. A lot of things are moving on my behalf by the power of God. Like, God is opening door after door, opportunity after opportunity. Things just seem to be working out, even though I might even have opposition, which, 9 times out of 10 in my life, there's opposition, there's storms, there's fires that I'm fighting while I'm achieving. But it's like, no matter how much you get, it's like in those moments, that you feel it the strongest, when you should be like probably even more encouraged to just focus on your goals, more encouraged to just go hard in the paint. You are, but on the other end, you're like, dang, like, I'm still single. Am I ever going to be a wife? And, for me, I'm past 30. I'm going to be 32 in November specifically. But, the older you get with each passing year, you really do start to think like, am I ever going to be pursued? Especially when you want more children. And for me, I've shared before that I have health issues that will always make my pregnancies a little bit harder. Lord willing, not too bad or too detrimental or anything like that, but you start to think of that couple with age and you're just like, dang, like, the biological clock thing, and then everybody around you. I know some friends where it seems like every time they really are in a season of desiring a spouse or marriage, it seems like all their friends are now in relationships. Like, you single, you're praying, you walking out, the straight and narrow path, you trying to do right, and it's just like, really, God? She gonna get a man and I'm not? Or he gonna get in a relationship if you're a guy and I'm not? Like, you really just start looking at you like, okay, this is the first time. It was cool. It was like, all right, my shit's gonna come in. Second time, you're like, okay, all right, God, blessings to y'all. And by the time you hit the third time or more, you're like, golly, am I ever gonna meet my spouse? So I really just want to encourage you guys, one, to not feel bad for feeling that way. Don't be scared to express how you feel. I was really nervous to put on Instagram that I'm really in a season of desiring a wife. Like, yeah, you see the smiles, yeah, you see the accomplishments, but that's really, really weighing heavy on my spirit. And I feel like a lot of people don't get it. But honestly, when I posted it on Instagram, a lot of people are in that season right there with me. And it ended up encouraging me to know that I'm not alone. Also, it seems like for me personally, and let me know in the comments if this happens for you too, but it seems like when I start to get in these seasons, not only is it triggered by me having like God move in a mighty way, so it's like God moves in a mighty way, opportunities, blessings on blessings, all that. Then that triggers the feeling of like, okay, I have all these blessings and stuff, but I still am waiting. I still am praying. I still am trying to live right. And it's been years on years on years. And then that triggers, well, I don't know if it triggers it, but it's like while that wait or that realization I'm still waiting is happening, it's like I go on social media and all I see is couples, engagement rings, weddings, engagement parties, happiness, anniversaries. It's just like, oh my gosh, why am I seeing all of this? Like, it literally gets to the point for me sometimes where I legitimately block pages. Like, I legitimately mute people that I know just because it's like, I'm happy for you, I really am, but deep down inside, it starts to breed like a self-pity thing. And I know that's not healthy. I know I need to pray in those moments, and I do, but to constantly see those images, it triggers you. It's almost like if you are on a path of celibacy, well, let me say abstinence more so than celibacy, because celibacy is like you take a vow to never get married or have sex, and most of us are abstinent when we're not celibate. That's a whole nother conversation, but it's like when you decide to be abstinent, waiting till marriage, basically. And the minute you do that, it's like you can't get away from the 90s R&B, the music that's going to get you all of your feelings, have you out here like someone to love, like, you just out here in your feels, okay? That's when you just can't get away from it. That's when that ex hits you with the hey big head, hey stranger text, and it's usually that guy that either got away, that unrequited love type thing where you're like, dang, I always wanted to get back with him too. Or the dude that you just always have a soft spot for. He ain't no good, sis. He ain't no good for you. He done broke your heart 1,000 times, had you crying, had you losing your mind, had you questioning your worth. But every time he texts you, he knows he can get to you, And it's usually in situations like that that you start to really be like, okay, I keep seeing these couples. I keep being reminded about these people. And then your vow of abstinence now turns into you making decisions that later on you may regret, So it's kind of like that, where it's like the minute you decide, I'm going to focus on just God, just me and God, you keep seeing these images, you keep seeing these things. And for me, I'm not going to lie, full transparency here, you guys know how I do. yesterday, well, Sunday at this point, my mom, my sister, and I were talking in the kitchen like we usually do while we're eating and cleaning up the kitchen and stuff. And I was telling them how I was feeling, because I always tell my mom and sister, because even though our mom's an older generation, she's going to be 70 this year, she's very understanding, and she's really open-minded to just understanding like the struggles that my generation, well, me and my sister's generation, because we're same generation, that we go through, you know? And so I was just telling them that, like, I really feel this nudging, this weight of just marriage, but not and it's not just like a, woe is me, I'm not married, but it's almost like a God is preparing me type thing, because I keep hearing this conversation come up, and I don't want to reveal it all because I don't like to reveal everything while God is in the midst of working, but it's a specific conversation and two very specific words in regards to marriage and dating that come up over and over and over and over again. So I'm like, I feel like God is warning me or like preparing me to keep my eyes open, you know, because those two things are going to come into my life possibly this year, because so far everything that's like on my vision board and stuff has been coming to pass. And this is a subject matter that is on my vision board, like marriage overall in a godly relationship. So I'm like, I feel like low-key God's trying to warn me or prepare me for these two things that are going to possibly most likely come in my life this year. And I'm going to focus on God. Like I literally said this on Sunday. I was like, I know the type of man I need. You know, I know that I need to go even deeper with the Lord. Ever since September, I have been going on a very deep dive. Ever since September 2019, I've been going on a very deep dive with God, and I've been dealing with spiritual warfare and just everything preparing us for this move to Atlanta. And then once we got here, it's like, it just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And I feel like God is like, no, I need you to get even deeper than that, you know? And I'm like, I'm just going to go hard, and I'm really going to like tune in and try to figure out what he's trying to tell me. So as soon as I make this declaration, I tell them like, I know what I need to do. I'm getting clarity. I feel like this is what God's trying to tell me. And they're like bouncing back and forth to me like, yeah, you know, that might be it. Da, da, da. Then this morning, an old friend of mine hits me up, and she presents me with something that basically gets me to a place of feeling inadequate. It's a weak spot for me, and it's something that I really am praying on. I really am working on. And my mom pours into me so much with that, and my sister and stuff. But basically what she texted me triggered that weak spot to make me feel inadequate, make me feel less than worthy of a deserving man, and start to pick myself apart. Like, how come I'm not getting that? In other words, like, how come everybody else gets that and I'm not? And again, this is in regards to dating and stuff. And I literally in that moment had to stop and just pray and say, God, help me with this, because I knew it was an attack. I knew it was a trick of the enemy, basically, like to use that same stumbling block to get me down a spiral to where I start feeling inadequate. I start feeling unworthy. I pick myself apart. Then I seek instant gratification. And then that leads to decisions that, again, I might regret later on, or just wasting time. And I don't have time to waste, you know, and it's just like, it really made me realize that you have to stay near God. And I know it sounds so cliche, sis. Trust me, I know. I get tired of hearing it too, to be honest. I really do sometimes. But it really made me think, like, get past church affiliation, get past denomination. Like, that stuff has its place, don't get me wrong. But it made me realize that we need to be tethered to God. Like, you and God need to be tight. Y'all need to have a relationship. You need to be so tight. And you need to understand when he's speaking to you and when he's not, and when it's an attack and when it's not, so that in those moments you can call on him. Like, I literally stopped in that moment when I was picking myself apart, and I said, God, renew my mind, renew my heart. Stop this. Like, help me just stop this and work on this. And I found that after I prayed, after about 30 minutes or so, like, I literally forgot about that. And I felt better. And then in the afternoon when my mom was like, oh, have you heard from so-and-so? I was like, oh yeah, I did hear from them. And then I remembered at that point, like, you know, I was feeling down, and I'm not even feeling down anymore. Like, I've been feeling good. So it shows that the power of God and calling on God in those moments. And if you've been single for a long time, like on my post on Instagram yesterday, one of my mommy friends, she's also a single mother, she shared with me how she's just really weary of the wait, because she's been waiting and praying for her husband since she was 18, and she's almost 40 now. I think she just turned 40, and it's really disheartening, when you wait for decades. Sometimes we make it seem like once you pray, give it 6 months and God's gonna move on your behalf, and it's like, nah, like you might be actually waiting for some decades, or worse, what if it never happens? And I think that's the thing that a lot of us have in the back of our mind that we don't want to think about, because it is scary, especially if this is something you really desired. But, if it's a desire that God really put in your heart, and it's not just superficial, like I just want to get married just to say I'm a wife, or whatever the case may be, then you really have to pray, really pray, and see what God is trying to do in this season of singleness for you. Another thing I would say is don't be bored. Like, boredom is dangerous. There's a reason why the saying goes, an idle mind is a devil's workshop, or, idle hands are the devil's handiwork. Like, when you are bored and you don't have anything but time on your hands, that is the perfect time for the enemy to swoop in and try to get you to make dumb decisions. And honestly, I will admit that a lot of the dumb decisions and mistakes, honestly, things that I wish didn't happen, or even just hard lessons I've learned in life, they were birthed out of boredom, or they were birthed out of a place of weakness. Like I said, when my friend tried to kind of like trigger me, and she wasn't aware that she was doing it. That's how I know it was a trick of the enemy, because it's not like she was purposely like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get her, It was like one of those things where it's like, I was just declaring God's work in my life and how I'm gonna focus on that, and then boom, this happens. And I even put that on my Monday motivation on my Instagram. Like, there's a reason why the minute you decide to focus on your purpose and God, why certain things all of a sudden are coming up out of nowhere, triggering you, hitting certain soft spots, obstacles in your way. Like, it's nothing but a trick of the enemy. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And that is so true, but yeah, like boredom, a lot of bad stuff can be birthed out of boredom. So while you're praying, while you're trying to seek Christ and really understand what he created you to be, why he put you on this earth, why he gave you the desire for marriage, and, just all of that, like, try to serve, try to occupy yourself in ways that are fruitful, whether it is aligning deeper in your purpose, or, getting higher education if that's something that you want to accomplish in your life, or getting a job promotion, starting a business, losing weight. I think I said serving others, but I'm gonna say it again because it's a good thing to do. Volunteering, serving, like, just make sure that you have things going on and goals to achieve. When you set those goals, it can help you even with your sense of self-worth. Not that we find our value in the goal itself, like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, or I own this, or I did that, so that makes me worthy. But I think that it's just the satisfaction of saying, like, I set this goal, God put it on my heart, I set this goal, and I achieved it. And so I know that I can be disciplined. I know that I can focus in on something, and I know that I can be determined to achieve it. Discipline is hard. A lot of us don't have discipline. And third, I would say, have friends around you and a tight-knit circle around you that can uplift you. And not just in words, but I'm telling y'all, it is a difference when you have friends that can spiritually uplift you. Like, one of my friends on Instagram, her name is Crystal. Hey girl, if you're watching this, we don't know each other from a can of paint. We literally met on Instagram. But when I tell y'all that we are sisters in Christ, like, she will hit me up and we will just talk about stuff, and it's like our lives will literally be almost parallel. And another one of my friends, Lauren, hey boo, hey. I sound like my girl slaying singleness now. I'm just tossing all these names, but my homegirl Lauren, it's the same thing with her. It's just like, we will hit each other up, and it's like, she would go through something, and then like the next week I would go through something similar, or the same day we'll go through something. It's like so crazy that with both of those sisters, I'm able to contact them, it doesn't matter what it is, and just share, like, this is what I'm going through. Or they might see like a post that I put up for my motivation posts and stuff, and be like, oh my gosh, I just went through that. And I'm like, I know, girl, like, that's why I was sharing it, because I just went through that too. And then we just start praying for each other and uplifting each other in ways that are deeper than just the flesh. Like, that spiritual upliftment, it's on a whole nother level, y'all. Like, it is so priceless. You can't put a price on that kind of friendship, because that is what really makes a difference. Having some consecrated friends, some friends that can pray over you, pray for you, pray with you, okay, speak over your life, and on top of that, give you the practical advice, give you the logical advice. Like, you can't put a price tag on that kind of thing. And like in the Caribbean, like they say, a good friend is better than pocket money. If you see that light flickering, I don't know what is going on with my son's phone, but in the Caribbean, they say like a good friend is better than pocket money. And it's so true. It's like, you can't beat that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's my pieces of advice. And also, I would say, try not to compare. Like, honestly, a lot of people out here are trying to win. A lot of us are trying to meet these goals. A lot of us are trying to prepare ourselves for our future, whether that includes a spouse or not, but in this case, particularly for our future husbands. And to be our best selves, we got to be right mentally. And you got to focus on you. Period, sis. Okay, so if that means you got to unfollow some pages on Instagram and Facebook, unfollow them. If that means you need to watch the music that you listen to, the shows that you watch, the people you talk to, the places you go, the things that you entertain and let into your body through your eyes and your ears, then you do that. You know, because at the end of the day, your health and your peace of mind is paramount. Like, it's priceless, protected at all costs, and you need to make sure that you're not being triggered by other people's lives. And if you're tempted to always compare and to always look at someone and be like, dang, like, she got it all, you know, she pretty, she making money, she got a man that loves her, she's in shape, you know, her edges is laid. But seriously, like, whatever you're tempted to compare and then to start picking yourself apart on, if that page or that person is making you, like, leading you to do that, just block them. Like, honestly, it's no love lost. Like, for me, I wouldn't be mad if I found out someone needed me for that reason, because I understand the weight of it. A lot of the time, it's not that these people are haters, like we like to say. It's just that they're having their own struggles, and seeing you constantly, like, shine can result in self-pity. Yes, it is something they should work on. Yes, it's not right. But at the end of the day, I understand it, because I've been there, where you're not in a place in life where you're very happy. So it's not that you want to see them lose. It's just that you're like, dang, like, why is my life so jacked up right now? Like, how do I even begin to put it together? So I understand that. And if you need to mute people, then mute them until you're able to be in a better place mentally. And moms, like, do not let your desire for a husband push you into the arms of someone that you know good and daggone well is not your purpose partner. Don't do it. I'm telling you, like, a relationship can either propel you into your purpose and push you even further into your purpose, or it can derail you so far off track that you will be looking up like, how did I even get down here? Like, how did I get so far off the course, you know? Be prayerful. When you meet somebody, don't just say, oh yeah, I'm praying about it. Actually get down on your knees and pray about that man. You know, if feelings arise in you for somebody and you can't get them off your mind, pray about that. See if that's a godly feeling, or see if that's just lust and flesh. If you're just lonely and you're like, man, he fine. Like, you know, pray on that. And if it's not of God, ask him, like, if this is not from you, if these feelings are not from you, please take them away. Like, I just don't have the room for it, you know? I do not have the room for it. I do not want to be off purpose. But definitely stop and pray. Because I know for me, I'm guilty of that too in the past. Like, when you're like, oh yeah, I'm praying on it, I'm trusting God. And you know good and well you ain't pray about that relationship or that man, okay? You went ahead and got with him, and then you prayed that it will work out because you were like, this is the one for me. Whether it's based off of his looks, his career, whatever the case may be, you just see him being in your future and you like the way you look together, whatever the case is. So you really didn't pray about it, but no, really pray on that man. Really pray about it. If he's talking to you, if he's in your DMs, pray on it. God, is this your will for my life? If it's not, then give me the strength and the discernment to recognize that and to remove myself, or better yet, remove him for me. Like, you do the work. So really pray on that. Fasting is a great thing. And I talked about this earlier in the year. I'll probably do a video on this because I do want to touch on more spiritually based topics. I really feel like there's a lot I want to touch on. But, you know, content calendars. But I'm definitely going to fit it in because it's important, you know. And I feel like these principles can help a lot of people. But fasting really opens up your spiritual senses. You know, like when you fast, it's like you literally can almost hear the voice of God. And especially when you do those serious fasts, like the only water type fast and stuff, and you reading the word and praying, girl, When I tell you, you're going to feel like God cracked the sky and said, like, my daughter, this is what I need you to do. It will almost be like an audible voice because you're starving your flesh. Like, fasting is literally a physical way to die to your flesh. You're denying yourself the comfort of food, the convenience of food, and the word becomes your spiritual food. And so if you ever need clarity on something in life and you need to like really figure something out, fasting and prayer together, it's going to help you get some clarity, sis, I'm telling you. But, you know, make sure that whoever you are surrounding yourself by can pour into you, can help hold you accountable to these things, and that you just don't beat yourself up. You know, you're a single mother. I understand it's hard. It's very hard. And a lot of people just don't get, like, if you haven't done it, you just don't get it. And that, I mean, I hate to be cutthroat and just frank like that, but it's just one of those things. If you've never been a single mother, you don't get it. You won't get it. And that's okay, you know, but I do get it because I'm in it. I'm right there with you, sis. I'm waiting too. I'm praying too. I'm trying to remain faithful too. I'm a single mom too. I get it. You know, so if you're at your wit's end, and don't let you have kids that are difficult, because I'm telling you, my son is at a stage right now where a lot of days I'm like, I give up. Like, I can't. He's very difficult some days, you know. I don't show it all on camera, but he is very difficult some days. And I know that, like I had said a couple months ago on my Instagram, he's dealing with some trauma from the move and just, you know, being homeless. And it's a lot going on. So he's come a ways, but needless to say, I understand it's hard, and all of those things add up too, because then you can start thinking, I'm really not worthy because not only am I a single mom, but my kids are having issues in this area or that area. And so then you start to think, well, what man's going to accept this, and who's going to understand this, and is he going to take advantage of this area of my life because it is a weak spot? You know, I get it. Trust me. I think about these things too, between my health issues, my son. I mean, I don't have baby daddy drama because, like I said, he's not involved at all. But still, you think about these things and you think like, ain't nobody gonna want to deal with that. And then you start to talk down on yourself, but that's nothing but a trick of the enemy. And I rebuke that over your life because you are a queen, okay? You are a queen. You were purposed for this. God gave you those children for a reason. He could have given them to anybody, but he gave them to you for a reason. And those children are a blessing. And although it is hard, and I know you're tired of waiting, wait on God and speak positivity over yourself. Read the word, pray. Block out anything that's not helping you be in the right state of mind, because you have to fight for peace. You have to fight for positivity because the enemy and people will try, and life is hard, okay? So anyway, sis, that's about all I got right now. There'll probably be more random midnight, middle of the night type videos like this as I feel the Holy Spirit nudging. But I'm feeling a little calmer now, so I feel like God, like I said, everything that God wanted me to say. But I hope that this video encouraged you. I hope that you got something out of the rambling. And, you know, I am going to try to do more like podcasty type videos. I have some just ideas for this year. So just bear with me. Keep rocking out with me. We're almost at 200 Delle Dolls. So give me the 200, y'all. We on the trail to 1K Delle Dolls this year, y'all. So help me get there. Share, subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. I love you guys. And remember, my single mothers, especially with Mother's Day coming, you are not any less of a woman because you are single. You hear me? Do not feel like you're less worthy because you don't have a ring on your finger yet. And I'm praying for all of us every single day. I pray that we meet our kings. I pray that we are loved, we are valued, we are respected, we are adored, we are led with a servant and humble leadership and a godly leadership, that we meet men that are truly spirit-filled and spirit-led. Hallelujah, I felt that. So love you guys with the love of the Lord, and I will talk to you on Friday's video, which will be an unboxing. I'm excited. Love y'all. Bye.